I know a lot of men that are dealing with women who meet a new guy and they start bringing that guy around their children. This video is going to touch on that type of pain. And listen, I'm going to tell you, if y'all got children in the room, maybe y'all want to tell the children to go play somewhere else, because this video is definitely not something that you want your children to be listening to. So here we go. A couple of years ago, there was a family member of mine that came to me because they was dealing with a situation with their baby mother, right? Now, listen, I'm not gonna put too much locations out, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna kind of leave certain names anonymous because certain family members may be watching. And let's just say, for those that are mentioned in this story, I'm gonna say one in particular, I never liked her anyway. So I could care less how she feels. It is what it is. But for those who are sensitive to what I'm going to say, I apologize. But I got to do my job. So listen, a couple of years ago, I had a situation where a family member called me. This family member was like, they're having a little problem, you know what I'm saying? Their lady, broke up with them and they happen to meet this new individual, right? See, the problem wasn't the fact that she got with someone new. The problem was the lifestyle that he was into, right? And what he was introducing to that family member's child, right? So, I hear out what, the family member brings to me, so I'm just like, okay, cool. So anyhow, time goes by. It's almost like that situation just faded in the wind. I haven't heard from that family member whatsoever. Then one day I get a call of panic. We got to do something about this. This dude is smoking cigarettes in front of my son. We got to do something about this, and furthermore details. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, it's a cultural thing. Some people may be like smoking cigarettes. Again, that's not good for health, but also in our culture, it's like we look down on cigarette smokers, man. Cigarette smoking, I know I smoke cigars, but we look at cigarette smoking as vagabond shit, man. That's part of Haitian old Haitian culture. New Haitian culture, I don't know what that is today. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But I would definitely say from the era I'm from, we look at cigarette smoking and all that street wild shit as being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we don't deal with that type of lifestyle. So old boy, he happened to be into a lot of legal activities. You know what I'm saying? So baby mother got with him. He into a lot of illegal activities. So anyhow, we set up a day to meet, right? This family member comes over my house, you know what I'm saying? And let me just say, this did not happen in America. You know what I'm saying? For those probably trying to find out the details, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's just say it didn't happen in America, right? So anyhow, family member comes over my house and I tell him, listen, you know what I'm saying? This is what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? In X amount of time, X, Y, Z is going to happen and it's not going to be good. So listen, mes gants sous table, put the gloves on. They're on the table. You know what I'm saying? Put the gloves on. You know what I'm saying? Let's put our gloves on. Boom. So, we moving, you know what I'm saying, this stuff around, you know what I'm saying? We doing work, you know what I'm saying? We using different shit. And one of the key things you have to do is make sure you don't take your gloves off. You know what I'm saying? You want to have your gloves on at all times during the process, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking everything is all good. So we finish doing the work, whatever, we finish doing what we have to do. I'm saying, Zoe takes his, belonging, and that's that. So anyhow, chilling. Day or two later, that family member comes to like my room, right? He knock on my door, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we talking. But his family member, he asked me these weird ass questions, like, he's talking I don't know if it's paranoia, the best way to put it, but this family member is talking to me, and he's not like, he's not talking coherent. He's talking strange. He's saying like, you're talking very pessimistic. You know what I'm saying? So he leaves my room, we finish talking. I'm like, I brush it off, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And he comes back to my room a couple of minutes later. He's talking to me like very pessimistic, worried, like this dude, I never ever seen this family member like that. This was a family member that, you know what I'm saying, when niggas was trying to bully me, he would stand up for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, why is this dude acting like that? He's acting strange. So I don't think nothing about it, right? So another time he comes around. This is in the same time period. This is not the same day, well, actually the coming around, that time he definitely came back around the second time that same day. And then I think the next day, you know what I'm saying, he comes back, you know what I'm saying, he's, still on that weird shit, you know what I'm saying, like almost like he's talking to me for like comfort or something like that. So, all right, whatever, we talking, he asks, can I borrow your car? And say, all right, cool, boom. So all of a sudden he comes back, he tells me, yo man, I kind of fucked something up on your car, whatever, I got into a little accident, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at this dude like, and then it's still not dawning on me. It's still, shit's still not making sense to me, like something's up, right? So anyway, days later, he calls me up like, yo, he says to me, yo, my son is like sick. He's just vomiting. You know what I'm saying?
At this point, he knew he fucked up.
We take him to the doctor. They don't know what's going on with him. So I'm like, listen, during some of the process, did you not wear gloves when handling this stuff, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm asking him like, yo, because I know what the symptoms is. When you're dealing with the dead, you're dealing with spirits of the dead, the thing is they can make you really sick. If you're into Palo Mayombe, you know how muertos get down, right? You know what I'm saying? You into zombie, bagay zombie, you know what I'm saying? You know how these spirits get down. Dopi, if you're from Jamaica, you know how they get down, right? So in the process, dude tells me, I'm working, I can't pay attention to everything a person's doing. And he tells me, yeah, during the process, he took his glove off and I guess he touched some of the shit. See, one thing people got to understand is that when you're dealing with shit like that, it's contagious. You're saying, so if you touch someone, that energy transfers to people you touch. If they come and sit down somewhere, it starts transferring to that environment. You know what I'm saying? So I tell him, yo, listen, take this, go give, you know what I'm saying, give the kid a bath, whatever, you know what I'm saying? A spiritual bath. Gave him the shit, boom. And that product is called what? L'esprit de Dieu? You know what I'm saying? L'esprit de Dieu, live it. No. That's called live in my shit. That was live in my shit. What does live in my shit means? Get up and walk. You know what I'm saying? That's a product that we have. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We have. Live in my shit means to get up and walk. That's for like when someone is attacked spiritually with spiritual illness. You know what I'm saying? If there's somebody sending zombie or muerto at you, you can use that and it can get that off of you. It's someone like espanta muerto, right? But yeah. So this situation is brought to my attention. He does what he needs to do. Then all of a sudden, he calls me like, yo, man, holy smoke, I feel way better. He told me he was depressed, he was suicidal. You know what I'm saying? And basically, he was telling me all the things that I didn't even know what was going on, but I just knew something was strange with him. He was acting strange. He said, man, and that's when he became a believer truly in the craft. Before, he was straddling the fence. You know what I'm saying? He was thinking this thing was like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? He just heard. So this was his, like, really his first time getting his feet wet. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, dude was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I feel amazed. You know, I'm amazed. I feel better. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? And his son stopped vomiting. You know what I'm saying? The whole house got sick. You know what I'm saying? Where that child was, the home where that child was at, the whole house got sick because, you know, the child was living with, you know, his baby mother and all, you know what I'm saying? So the whole house got sick, you know what I'm saying? You know, brought her back, you know what I'm saying? Everything was good, you know what I'm saying? But of course, the doctors, they're going to attribute it to other things whatsoever. But, you know, he stopped vomiting. Everything was good. Everything was great. So now let's get down to what happened after that. So anyway, if I'm correct, weeks later, my brother tells me, yo. Damn, I said my brother, man, you know what I'm saying? Let me man, you know, anyway, the family member tells me, yo, the dude we did work on, yo, he broke his back in numerous places. You know, basically, the story I was told was that old boy was out with another female during the process, you know what I'm saying, like, of this happening. So I guess he was cheating on that family member's baby mother, right? You know what I'm saying? So he was out the same night with a chick in the car. The chick ended up dying in the accident because it was a car accident that happened. You know what I'm saying? Dude was driving, and I guess somehow, from what I'm hearing, either they were arguing or fighting out of nowhere, and he just spun his car off the road. The shit was mangled. The girl ended up dying. She was crushed instantly. This dude broke his back in numerous places, you know, and that was the end of that situation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He was going after that. What are the details of that story? I don't know after that. Whatever happened to him after that. Whether, you know, what legal situation was, I never ever asked details about it. You know what I'm saying? So today, I don't know where he's at, but I do know I have posted the picture of old boy. And again, it's one of those things of, you know, what can you do to me? You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna get a dose of some more if you do anything. For one of me, there's about 100 versions of me. So anyhow, anyway, I don't want to talk too much about that. But anyway, listen. Yeah, so that was what happened, you know? So, moral of the story, man. If you out there, you playing stepfather, you know what I'm saying? You a new dude that somebody has a baby with, be very respectful to that person's child. Don't be doing dumb shit around another man's child. That's like me and the ex-girlfriend I had. She had a child, right? And I wouldn't smoke around a child. You wouldn't see me. I'd go outside. I would, music-wise, I would not play any derogatory music around this woman's child. You know what I'm saying? That was just the etiquettes of me, you know, coming up. That's what I learned. You know what I'm saying? You got to be respectful, you know what I'm saying, to people, you know, and especially people's children. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you don't go around doing fuck shit, introducing nonsense to another man's child, because that shit can create some rage that can make someone want to do something to you, right? Another thing is this, man. If you're going to be doing dangerous witchcraft, you want to make sure you protect yourself at all times. You know what I'm saying? And if you're following someone that's guiding you through a process, follow the rules, man. Because if you don't follow the rules, shit like that can happen. Now, imagine if you were doing something with someone who didn't care about you. So now your child's vomiting, who knows what would happen to that child? If that person didn't care, because I care, because that's my own flesh and blood. So I'm gonna make sure, you know what I'm saying, I take care of that. So with that said, I hope this video was very informative. I hope you enjoyed it.
Witchcraft. Shut down.